Okay. So, as you know about the BFC, so BFC application is a Salesforce native application which can help admins and developers to perform bulk operations in a few simple steps. So BFC is application which is being designed specifically to work on metadata only. It does not work on actual or a real data in Salesforce. BFC has many features which can help admins to save their time, like you can perform bulk actions on your objects, fields, process builders, layouts, validation rules, assignment rules, many things you can do it on the profiles, permission sets, field permissions. So today, for the session, we're going to pick up 4 topics on it. So first of all, we'll go through the BOFC application. What is the BOFC application? The next, we're going to see the first feature, which is your compare and export multiple profiles. Then we're going to go through the compare and export multiple permission sets. The next is the clone objects and fields. And finally, the last would be update record types in a bulk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is BOFC application? So as I've told you, it's a native application which helps developers and admins to perform bulk operations in a few clicks, right? So app operations can be on any kind of a metadata properties like profiles, permission set, objects, fields, layouts, whether you want to import them, whether you want to export, whether you want to delete them, whether you want to update them. So there are different features on which you can perform different kind of an actions in Salesforce in bulk. So before I move ahead, whenever you log into Salesforce and you traverse to the application, BOFC application. So this is the first home page of the BOFC application which comes out here. So which lists out all the features defined in a particular category for you. Okay, so each category has different kind of operations which you can do. Like this is the field operations category, field operations, all operations are fields, object operations. We have profile operations, we have field permissions operation which you can do with, export, clone, permission sets, layouts, process builders, validation tools. So these are the different categories, and each category has different kind of features which you can do it in Salesforce and BFC, right? So today we are going to cover out 4 topics. So let's take out the first topic, which is our clone. Sorry, which is our compare and export multiple profiles. Now, in Salesforce, if you have to compare 10 profiles side by side and you want to check out which feature is there in which profile and which feature is not there in which profile, so that you cannot do it manually in Salesforce. So in Salesforce, you have to open 10 tabs for 10 profiles and you have to manually check one by one each feature, right? In BFC, you can perform this action in just one click, nothing to do it manually. So this is how the layout is going to come out in the export. The A column is going to show you all the features which you want to compare. Column B, C, D, and others will give you each profile features. So in this feature, you can compare your object permissions, application permissions, tab settings, user permissions, record types, classes, Salesforce page permissions. So let's go to the demo of how it works.
Yep.
So I hope, Marcus, my speed is okay, right? I'm not going too fast.
No, it's absolutely fine.
Perfect. So in the application, you're going to traverse to the profile operations category, and you're going to pick the second one, which is compare multiple profiles. You click on this. It's going to open the page for the profile comparison. The first step is to select your multiple profiles you want to compare. So let me choose 2 custom profiles and let me choose 2 standard profiles, right?
You can also select them all.
Yes, you can select. I think there is a limit of 30 profiles which you can compare in a single go.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing is, as much profile you're going to select, right, the file is going to get much heavier that, and there is a Salesforce limitation in the file size which you can compare. So I think there is a limit of 15 MB or 5 MB. the file which you can do an export from the Salesforce. So until that limit is being hit, you can add as many profile as you can do it.
Yep. Yep.
But maximum 20 profiles you can you can select, I guess, because the file is going to be much heavier than that. So
I haven't seen really big Salesforce orgs, so I've never seen more than a couple of profiles. So I'm fine with that.
okay. Okay, so I have selected 4 profiles, and here are the component types which you want to compare. So you want to compare object permissions. So you can select all of them, or you can select few of them. So I select all of them. The next is, do you want to compare unmanaged properties or manage and manage as well? So what does this means? Unmanaged means the properties which you have added manually in Salesforce. Managed means the properties which are being incorporated because of some managed packages, third-party applications, right?
Yep.
The next is you want to compare profiles, and once you're done with the configuration settings, just click on this button. Now wait for this process to get complete, and no need to refresh the page. That's it, just keep it here, and it's going to give you the results in the next couple of seconds. So once the processing is complete to 100%, it's going to give you a link here to download the file. So let's wait for the process to get complete. Okay, 25% is done. It's going to come 50. Okay, so our file is ready to check it out. So let me just click on it. Okay, the file is getting downloaded. I click on this file. Okay, so here's a file which we have seen in the screenshot as well. Let me expand it. Okay, so the column A shows you all the properties which you want to compare, and the column B, C, D, and others will show you the profiles against each, right? So this is the object permission comparison. So this is the name of the object, app analytics query request, and these are the properties like read, create, edit, delete, view all, and what are the permissions against each profile for these features. So in this way, you can compare side by side the properties of everything in the profile.
Yep.
Right.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So this is these are the object permissions. And if I go downstairs, so these are the tab settings. The tab settings are here. The same way, the Apex permissions, Visualforce permissions, and user permissions, everything would be there as you go downstairs.
Yep.
I hope it's very easy to use, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a comparison which shows you a side-by-side comparison of multiple profiles. Now, if you want to take an export of all the 4 profiles, right, you can choose this option, export profiles, and let's see how the result comes out in this way, in this one.
Yep.
So it's going to give you a one Excel sheet with 4 tabs, 1 tab for each profile with all the information listed there. Let's see the result for that as well. Okay, let me download it. So the first one was the comparison sheet, which was having a 1 tab with all the comparisons. And this one is the second sheet, which is the export sheet, which has each tab for each profile with all the details about the profile properties, the object permissions, the custom apps, the tab settings for each. So this is the first profile, testing profile 1. This is the system admin profile. This is the third profile, and this is the fourth profile. So each tab represents one profile in the export. So exports give you each tab for each profile, and comparison give you one tab for all the profiles with a side-by-side comparison.
Cool.
Perfect. So I think this is the first feature about the application. So in case if you miss any steps, you can take a reference of the blogs here for both the features. We have in the blog. We also having the video as well for each step by step. So you can refer them as well in case if you face any issues on that. The next we have the today's session is it's similar to the profiles. We have permission sets where you perform the similar kind of actions as you done for the profiles. So for the permission sets, you have to go to the permission sets category, go to the compare permission sets, right? The same way you have selected the profiles, you will select out the permission sets which you want to compare. You can select the component types. You can select which operation you want to do compare and what kind of a components you want to export. The same kind of operations we are going to do here. It's going to wait for you a couple of seconds for the process to get complete. Okay, the file is ready. We can just click on the link and we have the feature downloaded here. Okay, so this is a comparison sheet, right? Which shows you both the permission sets here in the column B and C, and the column A shows you all the properties which we are comparing in both the permission sets. Right? Right, Marcus?
Yes. Yes. I'm looking at it, and I think I understand it. It's a comparison of the different permission sets that you created.
Yes.
Can be applied to users or to profiles. Or, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Perfect. So the same way we can export the permission sets, and it's going to give you one Excel sheet with multiple tabs, each tab for each permission sets. If you're going to export it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no need to do it, but you can export them. Is there also a way to import them, or is it just?
It's just export. We are working on the feature to import, and hopefully it's going to be here in the market by month end. I'm working on it. So by month end, I'm going to release a feature to import as well.
Yeah. As far as Salesforce allows you to import stuff like that.
Yeah, you can see Salesforce has given the APIs, so we can do anything for that. It's all you have to design the functionality in that way. Yep.
Because the reason that I was looking into this application was that the company that I work for myself, but I also help other companies with their Salesforce and Salesforce orgs, and I am usually concentrating on doing sales and setting up their sales cloud.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But we have to find some kind of a standard. And we thought that with your tool, we could have an easy way that once we have an instance of Salesforce that we really like, that we can make it easier to make a clone of it and use it as a base install for another client.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that something that I can do with your tool?
It's not the entire clone you can do, but yes, there are many features which can help you perform the operation
exactly. I know it's not a one-by-one clone tool, but I thought it could help me. Yeah.
Yes. So the next feature which we are going to talk about is going to help you a lot when you're going to do it. So the next feature is the clone objects and fields, right? Now, if you have a requirement like you want to clone an entire object with all the fields and the properties, so you can do it using this application.
Okay, nice.
So this is a clone object. So you have to go to the bulk object category. You can just click on the clone object. Okay, so here, first of all, step is to select your source object, which you want to clone. So let's take an example. I have taken the company object I want to clone, right? So let me open the company object in a different window, so I can just show you what is there in the company object.
Yeah.
So this company object.
You still use the classic interface.
Just for demo, actually, it's much quicker and much faster to show in the demos. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, otherwise then there is no reason to use class because everything is been lightning now. So it's better to be in lightning.
Yeah.
So in the account we have around 9-10 fields which we want to clone into the new object, right? And if we see there are 6 validation rules in this account object, and we have 3 record types in this account. So now when I'm going to clone it, right, it's going to clone all kind of properties into the new object. So I have selected the source object as a company, right, which is my account object. Let me give the name as test
The,
clone.
the company object that you made, that is a custom object,
Yeah, you
which
can.
looks like, yeah.
No, actually, I have renamed my account object as a company. So you can yep, you can choose any kind of object you want to select here. I have given the new object name as a test clone webinar, right? The next step is to choose what kind of action you want to perform. You want to clone all your custom fields. You want to clone your relationship fields. You want to clone your formula fields. Do you want to clone your validation rules and record types? I select all of them. The first step is done. The next step is the field permissions. Now, do you want to clone the field permissions of your source object? Let's take an example. My account object has been given permissions on 3 profiles, right? So do I want to give the permissions for 3 profiles on the new object, or do I want to choose new profiles for the new object? I can choose any of the options, right? So let me choose a new option, which is I'm going to assign new profiles for my new object, right? So let me select 2 profiles. Marcus, can you just mute for a second, please? Okay. So I selected 2 profiles for the new object, and I have given the permissions like I want to have a read all or edit all for the new profiles permissions, right? So once I have done this selection of the properties, I can go ahead and click this button. And this is going to initiate the process of cloning your company object into the new object with all the actions we need to perform. So once I click on this button, it's going to give me my actions, all the actions which have been done. The first action is your new object is there in the system. The next is, do I want to clone the custom fields? Yes. It's going to ask you for everything in one by one. The next we have, do you want to clone your formula fields? Yes. Do you want to create your record types and validation rules? Yes. So once I have done all the steps one by one, I'm going to go to my new object and I'm going to check out if those things are there in the new object or not. Let me traverse to the new object. So I'm going to traverse to the object called test clone webinar, and it's going to have all the fields which were there on the company object, all the 6 rules we were having on the company object, and all the record types we were having on the company object. So all the properties which were there on your source object are being copied onto the new object called test clone webinar. So in this way, there is nothing to do it manually for any kind of field property. You could copy, open each field, create them one by one and all. No, it's going to do everything in a single click for you. Okay, so I will take a pause here, Marcus. So do you have any questions for me on this?
Well, this is when you want to clone an object within the same org.
Yes.
And can you also do an export and then import it into another org?
Yes, we do it. I can guide you with that feature as well. So here we have a feature called bulk field creation. In the bulk field creation, there are 3 ways in which you can create your fields. So first step is to select your object in which you want to create the fields. So let me take the object called ABC, right? So this is my object in which I want to create the fields. Now, In this object, do you want to create the fields by manually by adding row one by one, or do you have a template of fields which you want to import? This is the second way. And the third way is to import the fields from some other org. This is how we're going to come into a picture. So if you want to import your fields from some other org, you can just click on this button. You can select your source org from which you want to import the fields, right? You can enter the object API name from which you want to bring out the fields. Let's take an example. I'm giving the API name account and I click on this button. It's going to bring all the custom fields of the object which you have selected out here from that particular source org, and will show them in a form of a table here.
Okay. And how did you add the details of the other org where you want to import from?
Okay, so for that you need to click on this button, manage org details.
Yeah.
Click on this button. You can just click on the new environment. Just enter the new environment details, the environment username, password, whether it's a sandbox or a production. Enter the token of that org, instance name, and click save. So once you click the save, it will add that org into this list here, and you can just close it. And once your org will be added, it will show in this pick list. Just select
Okay.
that org and done. That's it. Very simple steps.
Nice.
So this is where you can import your fields from any other org into the some other orgs. So this is a way to clone the objects from some other orgs as well, and also within the org. Now there is some requirement. Sometimes there is a requirement in which you want to clone the fields from one object to another object, right? There are few fields you want to compare, not all the fields. So in that case, you can go for the option of clone fields, in which you can choose your source object and the target object, and you can copy few specific fields from one object to another object. Let me take an example. I want to clone the fields of a company object into the asset object, right? I just want to clone this field only into the asset object. So I can just select that particular field and I will click on this object. So in this case, it won't create a new object. It will just clone this particular field into the target object.
Yep.
So this is our the third feature as for the today's webinar, the clone operations, where you can clone objects in the fields from same org or from the multiple orgs. So for the today's demo, we have the feature for today is manage record types. So in the manage record types, initially this feature was not in the application. So this is a recently added feature which has been added last couple of weeks back. Okay, so in the record, Max, can you just mute please?
Yep.
Okay, so in the record type, so there are two kind of operations you can do it. So the first operation is to update the basic details about the record types in the bulk, like the name, description, whether it's active or not. The second information which you can do it in the bulk is update the pick list values which are being assigned to the record type. Now, what is a pain point when we're going to do it in Salesforce? So in the Salesforce, the pain point is we have to open each and every record type one by one, right? If it's multiple objects, then we have to open each object one by one and open the record type and update information, then click save, right? So it's going to take much time for you to do it manually. The same thing you can do it in BOFC application in a single step, right? So let's go and see how it works. Let me clone these two and let me go to the home page. So here you can traverse to the record type category and you can click on the first link. So it's going to land you on the manage record type page, where the first step it's going to ask you which object record types you want to update. So let me select the object called company once again here. And the first operation I'm going to do is I want to update basic details only. So and I will click on the fetch details. So once I click on the fetch details, it's going to give me a list of record types on that particular object. So here you can select multiple objects as well. It's not for the one only. You can select multiples as well. Now, once I select all the three record types of that, and I click on this button, it's going to show me the basic details of that particular record type which I've selected out in form of a table, right? Now, if I want to update test India, right? Right, and I just select these three record types and I click on the update. So it's going to update the description for all the three record types in a single click. Okay, so this information is updated here, and I go into the account and I just refresh it. It's going to update the information for me in the system. So this I have done only for the one object, but if you have 10 objects and you want to update the information about the 10 objects, you can do it in a single click. So this was the information update for the basic record types. Now, the next thing is what is the use of the next feature, which is your update pick list values. In the record type, let's take an example. I open this first record type, and here we have 7 pick lists which are being assigned to this particular record type. And if I want to update the pick list values of each record type and each pick list one by one, it's going to take me a lot of time because I have to open each and every pick list one by one, update the values and save it, right? But in the BOFC application, you can do the same thing in a single click. Let's see how it works. So once I am going to open the home page of it, I will select my object, which is my company object. I select the second option, which is update pick list values, and I click on this button. So it's going to show me two options. One is to select the record types, which I want to update. And second is to select the pick list values, which I want to update. So let me select 3 of them. The first, okay, let's do 4. And I click on this button, display details. Okay, so now it's going to show me, it's showing me all the 3 record types and all the pick list values which are assigned to that particular record type in this table format. Now from here, you can update the values of multiple pick lists on the same screen. There is nothing to go back forward for it. Like if I want to add 2 values here, I can just click on it. It will be added here. If I want to add here for 3 values, I can do it. So whichever pick list I'm updating, I will just select the checkboxes in front of them. I want to update the industry. I want to just remove the agriculture from here. So once I have done the changes for the pick list, I have just click this button. So I will just repeat it. Just change the pick list values, whichever you want to remove or whichever you want to add. And once you make a change, just select this row. And once you're done with the changes, you can just scroll down and you can click this button, which is your update record details. So once I click on it, it's going to update all the pick list values which have changed into the multiple record types for the multiple pick lists. Okay, so it's giving me the message that record type has been updated successfully. Now, if I open the first record type, which is Mohit 1 in the account, let's go with Mohit 1. So Mohit 1 account source, the first, let's open it. So on the layout, I have assigned all the values except for the web. So if I go to the account source, I can see all the values are here except for the web. So in this way, I can update multiple pick lists which are assigned to the multiple record types from the same screen, and no need to go like on a multiple front and back to open the screens once again. So that's how you can manage the bulk update for the record types. Any questions, Marcus, on this?
No, this is an amazing feature. I think this is very welcome for me to use because some company that I work for only on opportunity they already have like 25 different record types. And
Yeah.
now you don't have to go to each one manually to change the values, but you just go, well, I just use your tool. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So this is the very unique feature, because you won't find this feature in any of the application. This is a very unique feature which has been added. So the next release, which is coming on the record type as well, which is on the, we are going to add a couple of more features where you can update the record types using Excel sheet as well. So I'm working on that feature, and it's going to come very soon in the application.
Okay, nice.
Perfect. So this is how the application works on those 4 features, but still this application has many, many more features, which we're going to cover in the upcoming sessions on the BFC.
Yes. Well, thanks a lot. It was very helpful for me. And,
Okay.
thanks a lot.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Marcus. Have a good day.